So we've got Anna Polyviou joining us this evening. Welcome.
Thank you, Bianca, so much for having me. This is awesome.
You're welcome. Good to meet you.
Likewise.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I understand you were in MasterChef a few years back. That's where we all know you from.
Yeah, like MasterChef changed my life. So I've been 3 times as a guest chef there. I've also been a co-host for Family Food Fight, which was on Channel 9 for 2 years running. And then, just finished off, did an appearance on The Living Room, which will be showing up soon. It's a bit of a secret, but I just gave it away as an appearance. But I've also done gourmet, everyday gourmet, and like my kitchen, which is on an afternoon show. But just TV. Like I love TV. Done SBS as well. So all these different channels and great people that create them as well.
So you're not shy in front of the camera?
No, not really.
I
I
have
love
picked
doing
that.
video content.
Yeah, I love your
Yeah, I love
videos
it.
on Instagram.
I know my partner does all the editing and I do all the, obviously the cooking and
Awesome.
the entertainment.
That
But
video editing's awesome.
Oh, don't. She's going to ask for a pay rise. Can't say it too loud. But, it's more about, creating simple recipes and making it fun as well. And, it doesn't have to be expensive ingredients. I think especially at times like these, let's be realistic of what people have in their pantry and let's make it fun and energetic and making sure those recipes work as well.
Absolutely. Now, there's so many things I want to go through about your cooking. I've seen so many things. You've even got your cookie dough out that people can get. You've been baking lots of different things: fairy bread, pavlova, chocolate lava cake, quiche. Where do we start? You've been doing all this during isolation, and even before isolation, it's always cooking for you?
Yeah, always. Well, I'm Greek Cypriot, so, food's always been a big part of our lives. I actually rang up my godmother the other day and I said, can we FaceTime to do the gupes? And gupes are basically broken wheat that you've also stuffed in mince and different spices, and then you fry them and you squeeze lemon juice and it's beautiful. So we said, let's do a class together. My mum's like, I want to help. I'm like, okay, here we go.
What,
So,
she
it's
was
really
teaching
good.
you?
She's going to teach me different Cyprian, things. So, I love learning from everyone. So yeah, I love cooking. Love it.
Exactly. Did it start from young for you?
Yeah. Well, because it's always been in our, in our household. So, my uncle was a hunter. Then, we were introduced to pine mushrooms and quail and lentils and everything before it became fashion. So it's always been around our family.
Yeah. And I see that you're sort of really good at sweets. Some people say that they're a sweet tooth and they love baking and cooking sweet foods, or they're more savoury. What's your thing? I don't know. I'm leaning towards sweets with you. I'm not sure. Am I wrong?
Well, I'm
right?
originally no. Well, I can do both. So I'm originally a kitchen chef.
Yeah.
So I did my apprenticeship as a kitchen chef, and then I got into sweets because I found them more fun and entertaining and more creative. So then I got into that side. But I don't know. As long as you feed me, as long as I'm cooking something, I don't mind what I'm cooking, sweet or savoury.
That's it. But you've got some masterpieces there. Like, some of your desserts look like real works of art. Like, I don't think, I don't think that would be easy to replicate. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, you've just upped the level in your sort of skill there. I don't think everyone can do that. That requires a lot of patience, and you've got to have that real creative flair. I think you've got that.
I think it's more about patience. I think when you do something intricate and then everyone has to do it, you've got to wait for your chocolate, for example, to set. Then it's about weighing up for different parts of the component. So it's all getting that together. And it is about patience. It's weighing it up, doing it again. So it's all about patience, to be honest. As long as you follow a recipe, you achieve that end result. But when you go, I can't be bothered with this, it's taking too long, then obviously everything else will start crumbling like a cookie, So that's what happens.
Speaking of cookie, tell us about your cookie dough.
So what happened was Chargirl Charlie's approached a friend of mine about creating cookie dough for them, and it's about local flavors. And then my friend's like, actually, I've got someone that's really great. You should get Anna Polyviou to make a cookie dough. You can watch her Instagram video and you'll see it. So he approached me, and then from there, it's about supporting local chefs. And then from supporting us, then we give our staff jobs, and then from our staffs, we give our suppliers jobs. And that's what it's all about. It's like investing the money back into our community. So yeah, so it's good for my team as well. Like they're, more excited and energetic, and what's the next flavor coming out. So we've got a whole new range coming out next week, actually.
Oh, really?
And I can't, and I'm DJing, and there's a lot of other things, and I can't say anymore. I already gave away too much information.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the DJ gigs.
Yeah. So it started off as a joke with Delicious magazine. So my friend Carrie, that's obviously the chief editor of it, and also my friend Jojo that does all the events, they were just winding me up. And I said, oh yeah, I DJ, I do this, I do that. And they actually got me to DJ for their events they were doing for Amex. And then all of a sudden I'm on a shipping container, I'm freaking out. But, you know, it went really well and people loved it. And I made sure I played tunes that people know. Like there's Madonna, there's the Spice Girls, there's some new age music, and just mixing it all through. Now I'm currently trying to get the old school tracks that are being copied by the new school, and then just try and mix them together at the same time. So you're like, wait a second, isn't that song? No, wait, actually it's that song.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get all that mingling together. Yeah. So yeah, it's fun. I love it.
When did you start that, DJing?
Probably at the start of the year, but I've always loved it. So I've actually got a teacher as well. So I've got a teacher that teaches me, but unfortunately because of ISO and stuff, I haven't actually been there for lessons. But it will kickstart back again. He's amazing.
So what have you been doing in ISO?
I've actually been, so the whole cleaning thing has, you know, obviously taken over. That was quite depressing for me though. Not the ISO, the cleaning for 2 weeks. Yeah. So we got that sorted, but it's more about just building the brand, continuing elevating the brand. I think it's really important, and staying relevant, and also interacting with my audience, you know, like messaging them back, you know, there's an inbox reply, you know, they post something, reply to that. Writing a book as well at the same time. I think it's perfect timing. And taking my brand to a different level as well. We want to continue growing it, and checking up on my team was very important for me, you know, making sure they're okay and their family's okay, and things like that. I think we can't forget about them. You know, it's not always just about giving them money, but it's also about that simple phone call.
Yeah, perfect. So you got a few people in your team?
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. All of them have got different skills, and I really appreciate that for them. Yeah. You know, they're amazing.
Yeah, it's good to look after the people around us. And it's good to have a good team, isn't it, that you trust and
100%.
Get on well with, not only in a business sense, but just as people to connect. Like you said, it's just a phone call.
Yeah, 100%. That's good. It's good fun.
Absolutely. Now, I just want to ask you, what have you got in your veggie patch or your herb garden?
Oh my God, you know what? I actually was approached about having a herb garden, but I live in an apartment. So I'm like, what are we going to do? We're going to leave it on the balcony. Yeah. But we actually do have a supplier that delivers to me. So they could, sorry about the word, but it's not a swear word, but it's their surname. But it's called Cox, but it's not like a sexual part of the body. Okay, so it's a produce. But they do about roasting. So they give you like a meat product or poultry product or what have you, and then they give you vegetables to go with it. And what I do is I usually order extra vegetables, so then I've got it in my pantry as well. So they actually, and my fridge, so they actually go and source it for you locally, and then they bring it to you. So I'm trying to focus on small businesses that also buy from other suppliers that then come to me. And I think that's great. Again, it's about giving back to the community.
Yeah. So you're in Sydney, aren't you?
Sydney? Yes, but my mother and father have the best veggie patch. It's like you're going into the, like, I don't know, the farm or the forest or something.
Really? Where are they located?
They're in Melbourne. So they've got, for example, chickens are at the back. They've got their potatoes. They've got their herbs. They've got mandarin trees, orange trees, lemon trees, bananas. Perfect. They have passion fruit. She even sent me some pomegranate in the parcel. So she popped it all out and then just, I don't know, she parceled it and sent it to me. Yeah, so I had pomegranates. Wow. It was
gosh. You always grew up with Veggie Patch then? That was the thing?
Yeah, always.
It's the best way.
And she'd be mortified. She'd be mortified if she came over and saw no herbs at least.
Yeah. I suppose you'd miss it, really, being in an apartment, having grown up with it.
Yeah. It's so different. It's so nice. And it's nice to just go to your backyard, get it, and bring it back into your household.
Absolutely. What about bread? Have you been baking bread?
Yeah, so we started off with focaccia. I'm making some milk buns tomorrow, actually. So teaching people how to just make simple milk buns that you can use for, you know, burgers, obviously, but you can also turn them into sweets, like for finger buns and stuff.
Oh, that's what they call them, milk buns.
Yeah. So we're doing that. So you can teach them in both ways.
So, I know it's got the milk in it, but what's the texture like? It's more How's it
It's
different to?
more light and fluffy, and sometimes
Yeah.
and it's soft. You know, sometimes you have that
Yeah, that's
crusty
what.
crust and then soft filling, but this is just soft all throughout, and it's nice to eat. I don't really like brioche with my burger buns. I find it too sweet and too buttery and eggy, but this is a lot better. But
Yeah.
then we're also, you know, like I've done, you know, focaccia. We've done dinner rolls. We did some. Oh my god, I did the semolina one. What was it? Ciabatta bread as well.
Oh,
So we're
ciabatta.
just looking at that, and I'm going to start making a starter, a sourdough starter, and just everything.
Yeah,
And it's just the best time to experiment.
it is. And you're putting your bread in, like they call it the Dutch oven. Gary, I spoke to Gary Megan, and he told me with your bread, put it in the oven, but put it in another little tiny sort of
Oh
contraption with a
yeah,
lid. It's like another oven in an oven, and the bread turned out nice.
oh yeah, and it's crusty on the outside, nice and soft in the middle,
Yeah,
and then the
you do
aroma.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, there's
Well,
so
I
many
actually
ways to
don't.
do it.
I think for me, like especially when I'm doing video content, I can't really do stuff like that because not everyone has it in their household. So my
Yeah.
focus is always like, what do people have and what they don't have.
Yeah,
So I think that's really important. So yes, it's ideal
that's
to
true.
do it that way, but at the same time, what do people have?
Exactly. Exactly. And do people sort of make suggestions in your inbox? They message you and say, how do you do this? Or are you going to do that? I suppose you'd get a lot of that.
Well, I think they think I'm a recipe book. They go, oh, Anna, I really want this, you know, the caramel slice. Do you have a recipe for that? And we really need this. Do you have this? Oh, and this has happened. What do I do? And I'm like, okay, I've got to reply to all this, you know? And I'm just like, oh
Yeah.
my God, you know? Sometimes I go, just get my cookbook. Or sometimes I
Yeah.
just take a photo of the cookbook recipe. Just,
Yeah.
just take it, you know? I'm quite generous with my recipes. Recipes are recipes for me.
Yeah, I know. I remember the day when the mums and aunties used to hide especially the Greek mums and aunties and
Oh,
yayades. They'd be like, "Can't tell you how I make my dolmades. You know, it's a secret." And the yemista, it was all a secret. I was like, okay, whatever.
but the thing at the same time, they never knew the recipe because they would just do it by sight and feel.
That's true.
I remember doing my
They had
first
their
cookbook,
way.
and we had a Greek chapter, and I said, "Mum, okay, so what I need is I need the recipe." And then she was like, "Kuduru kuduru," which means a little bit of this, little bit of that. I'm like, "What is she saying? We really need to write this
Yeah,
recipe down." And it was very difficult. That was the longest part of the
really.
cookbook than anything else.
Exactly. You'd probably have to cook it, be there, cook it with her to get it all. Do you know what I mean? Is that what
Yeah,
you had
yeah,
to
and
do?
writing it all
Yeah,
down.
she didn't know the
Yeah,
exact. Yeah,
and she's really
yeah.
against recipes. She doesn't like it.
Really, not. They don't like it to be the strict. You know.
No, and they don't like machines. So they don't like her electric machine is just to mince the meat that she bought from the butcher. But she
Yeah.
wants to mince her own meat. But she'll never make bread in there, ever.
Wow. It's different, isn't it? What do they think when they watch these cooking shows and everything's so specific and exact?
Well, I was trying to explain to her what a vegan was. And
Oh,
I said, she
really?
goes, what's wrong with that girl that fainted? And I go, oh, Mum, you know, she wasn't feeling well. And she goes, she doesn't eat meat. And I go, no, Mum, she doesn't eat meat. You know, she's a vegan. She goes, what's vegan? I explained to her, because that's why she fainted. I'm like, okay, well, you know, because they're not used to dietary requirements and restrictions. And I know that when we were growing up, we would just have to eat whatever was on our plate.
Exactly.
That was it. No choice.
Yeah. And there's something smart about a balanced diet, you know.
Oh, of course, 100%. And we always were
Yeah.
around balanced diets. Obviously, I ate a lot of sugar, but you know that it is about balance. You know, Mum always had
Yeah.
salad, always at the table, and also fresh bread. She used to bake her bread every Sunday mornings.
Really?
Yeah, every Sunday morning. So we
Really?
never had sliced bread in the house.
Yeah.
And I didn't really see sliced bread until I went to high school. Even during like primary school, she never put in my lunchbox.
Hmm. How
Yeah.
many loaves of bread would she bake on a Sunday? Like a few?
Oh, about 3 to 4,
Yeah.
and that would get us through.
I know. It's the best thing, fresh bread, isn't it? Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my God, the smell. The smell. That's all I
With,
can say.
with butter or oil for you?
Oil.
Oh, no
Just
butter.
drizzle. She'll always drizzle olive oil, and then it'll be like olives and boiled egg and cucumber. And the cucumber and tomatoes will always be from the garden. The olives will be something that she crushed. The halloumi will be something
Yes.
that my godmother made. So it was always, we were so spoiled, you know. And I think, you know, as you get older, you appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah. We're sort of blessed to have that upbringing, you know, with the veggie patches and the food of being the heart and soul of everything. I mean, everyone loves that across any culture, across any age, whatever, big family, small family, food. We need food.
Oh, it's so good, and it's really
Yeah.
interesting to see, you know, during isolation what everyone is doing, and they are cooking a lot. I think it's
Yes,
great to see people cooking.
absolutely. So when's your book coming out?
It won't come out until next year.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's coming out next year, and it's just basically back to basics. And that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to make intricate desserts, and it made me realize during ISO that people just want that simple bread recipe or that simple cheesecake recipe or the simple whatever it may be. As long as it's simple, not so many ingredients, which I get carried away with and just add this and add that.
Yeah.
But, it's really interesting to hear people's feedback as well and seeing what's doing really well and what doesn't work and everything.
And are you into leftovers, or are you baking every night, cooking
Oh
every
my
night?
God, 100% leftovers. I love leftovers.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I actually did, I had vegetables. So I had like zucchini, I had pumpkin, I had sweet potatoes, I had onions. What else did I have? Corn as well. And then I had a chicken breast, and then I was like, you know what? And I had risotto. I said, I'll make a chicken vegetable risotto soup. That's exactly what I did. And the funny thing is, like, it was tasty last night, but it was even tastier for lunch.
Exactly.
So I was like, oh, this is great.
Oh,
and all the flavors in there. So it's like, this is so good. And I used actually the corn carcass in there and threw it in there to extra flavor as well. Oh,
nice.
God, I love cooking.
And
it's always in there, shred it.
Chicken,
yeah.
It's always good to experiment too. We're always like, no matter how long you've been cooking for, you can always throw something with something and say, I've never done that before. Hey, it worked.
Oh, 100%. It's all about experimenting and playing around, and it's using up what you've got in your pantry and your fridge. For example, how many times do we put meat in the freezer and we just leave it there because we've just saw something else that we want to cook with it, and it just sits there. You've got to cook it. You've got to clean out your freezer. You shouldn't be buying more stuff. You should be just cleaning it through and using it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, anything else we need to share before we say goodbye? Anything else?
What's exciting? What's coming up? I mean, there's a lot of an announcement coming, which I want to tell everyone, but I can't tell anyone yet, so I've got to wait. But I have told people. What's one of those things? It's a secret, but you can't tell people, but you do tell people. So I've got to be a bit secretive, and I was actually going to tell you, will be the first to know, but I can't. Okay. So that's sad. But it's more about the book, creating different. We're doing cookie dough next week that launches.
Yes, the different flavour,
different flavour,
which we find out next week. The flavour, or we know the flavour now.
You find out next week.
Okay, we like surprises. That's good that you do that.
Yes, and I think I know there's so much going on. There's so much going on that I keep on forgetting what's going on. But there's exciting times ahead, like always.
Absolutely, always. Good attitude. I like it. Positive.
And are you going to get me on Home and Away?
Yes,
That's the question here.
And Neighbours, or just Home and Away?
No. Neighbours, no. Just Home and Away.
Home and Away. Okay, what do you want to do? What's your gig?
So the gig will have to be criminal. That's what I want to do, a criminal. Yeah. I don't know. I've done something. There's always a drama at the finale of every season. So I would like to be at the finale where everyone's watching.
They won't forget
you. Or maybe
you.
I'll be the chef that just appears and cooks something.
That's it. And I love your hair as well. It's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Because my mum, she's got a wig shop. My mum's got a wig shop, so I've noticed hair my whole life. She's had it for 50 years, I think. And we always notice hair, yeah. But what were we going to say about your hair?
Oh, my partner's been refreshing it for me, dyeing it. So she's done a great job.
But do you have to bleach it first?
You have to bleach the roots, and then you put bleach, get it out, and then you apply the pink in there. Pink. But we top it up. The pink doesn't fade away too much at all. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. How does it stay vibrant and luminous?
I just washed it
glows.
Today. It glows because I glow, so the hair glows with it.
I might just get a few streaks.
You should. It's so much fun, and people comment about it. They love it.
I know. It's wild. It's beautiful.
So good. And boys like it more than girls.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It suits your character as well, flamboyant, gorgeous energy.
Oh my God, I love it. You're throwing too many compliments that I'm loving this Zoom interview. It's the best.
One last thing I did see, what was it? Twist, lick, dunk challenge, but I saw that last week. But you got to refresh. What is it again?
God.
So that was the Tim Tam. Oh no, Oreo.
Oreo. So Oreo is like, would you be interested in doing this challenge? And I'm like, what do I have to do? Like eat, biscuits? I can do that. And they're like, no, you got to dunk it into the milk. And we're like, are you serious? And we're like, yeah, we've got this. This is easy. So we're up the stairs and we're throwing it and we're like, oh my God, this is seriously so difficult. And then we're like snooker shooting it. We're like, let's just have some fun and be a little bit different. And we were snooker shooting it with a rolling pin. And it took a lot of goes. And the fun part was picking it up off the ground. So I made sure I mopped before we even started. So if it did fall on the ground, I could still eat it. So that's exactly what I was doing. So I'm like, oh, there's one there, just eat it.
That's so funny. Well, what is it, the 3-second rule with kids, that if it drops on the ground, it's all right? It's like after 3 seconds, it's
fine. It's fine. Just sanitize your hands.
Absolutely. And I just have a note here, fairy bread cake. We all love fairy bread. I was talking with my mum the other day and she said, you know what I feel like? Fairy bread. I said, can you imagine telling people Mum and I made fairy bread?
It's funny that you said that because one of the cookie doughs is fairy bread. So what we're launching next week is fairy bread. So it's basically called fairy bread confetti, because normally fairy bread, you've got the hundreds and thousands that are in there. So what we've used is actually confetti candy. So that goes in there.
So the colours don't blend.
Well, yeah, because we did 2 testers actually, and one was bleeding through and the other one just stayed. But the confetti candy looks just awesome. It's fun and it feels like we're having a party.
Yeah,
you know? So we're just doing that. So you got to wait for next week. It's going to be big.
Oh, so did you just spill a little secret there with the fairy bread?
I did, but I got to tell you now. I might as well just tell you now. Should I just tell you now what's going on? So we're actually hiring an ice cream van, and I'm going to DJ in there, and we're going to do edible cookie dough, and you're going to have to see it next week. It all launches next Thursday.
Oh
so
my gosh, awesome.
Throughout the Chuggle Charlies, we're doing like deliveries as well. We'll do some competitions and we'll drop off some stuff to people's houses. Originally, we wanted to actually go into different locations, but we couldn't have people too close, and we need to be mindful of people's health, you know, and how do you control the 1.5 meter on the open road? And it was just a bit tricky. So we're like, okay, great idea, but we need to be mindful in the health of everyone. So, and that's really important to all of us.
Of course.
During these times.
Of course.
But I'll be on the decks.
That's it.
You'd love it. It's going to be so much fun. Are you based in Melbourne or Sydney?
Adelaide.
Oh, Adelaide. You're lucky. You've got so much great food over there.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's good to hear someone say good things when you say from Adelaide. We always hear, Adelaide.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah, everyone's real chilled here and like the sleepy town or something.
Oh, really? No, I love Adelaide. Yeah. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's good. We're lucky, Australia. All states are gorgeous. We've all got our own beauty, haven't we? Like Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, everywhere.
Absolutely. A friend of mine was telling me today, and she's absolutely right. She goes, you know, I was overseas in Italy and I love Italy and I'm Italian and everything. But when I fly back into Australia, I always say it feels like home. We're safe, we're secure, and we're very lucky. And we are. We're in a beautiful, you know, country, and the people are fantastic, and we've got multicultural, and that's priceless. You know, it's really good.
You're right. Any last words to our listener?
Always be kind to each other, especially at these times. I think, you know, that one phone call is special. And get cooking. Watch me on Instagram. It's so much fun.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I've got enough time to watch Home and Away.
and I'm looking forward to seeing you on Home and Away. Let's put the seed out there and water it, and who knows, in a year you'll be on the screen.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't wait that long. It's going to have to be, you know, sooner. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.